Organizers have reached their goal of raising $150,000 for an inclusive ballpark at Friendship Park, known as Orion On Deck. Golling Buick GMC hosted its fourth and final car show of the season, with the proceeds benefiting Orion Area Youth Assistance. The Halloween season was ushered in as The Walking Dead descended into downtown Lake Orion for the 4th annual Zombie Walk. And the Lake Orion Dragons hosted Southfield Arts and Tech during its Pink Up game, benefiting the organization's A Mother's Wish. We'll have highlights coming up. Hello, I'm Stacy Calloway. I'll have these stories and more coming up in this edition of ONTV News. For months, the Lake Orion community has been trying to raise funds to build an accessible ballpark at Friendship Park, and thanks to a generous community, organizers have reached their goal. Organizers had been relying on patronicity.com to crowdfund an inclusive ballpark at Friendship Park, but found they were falling far short of their goal. Then their efforts received a tremendous boost when longtime local businessman Larry Mullins presented them with a check for $50,000 on September 7th.
Well, I've been involved in this park ever since the onset of it. And approximately 10 months ago, I got involved as a co-trustee of a trust for the Guy family. And Jim Guy owned a contracting company called Guy Man Construction. And some of his very first projects that Guy Man ever did was here in Orion Township. So I thought it would be a great way for the family to kind of give back a little bit, and I just like to see the park keep expanding as it's currently doing.
They were still short of their goal when Orion Township Supervisor Chris Barnett teamed up with School Board President Scott Taylor for one last push. The duo would camp out at Friendship Park for 24 hours, calling on friends, family, and local businesses to help them reach their goal of $150,000. As things wound down in the morning of September 13th, much to their surprise, the community had come through and they hit their target.
I ran into Scott and we were talking about something totally unrelated, and I was kind of sharing my, not disappointment, but just like, man, I thought we'd do better because we were at like $20,000 like a week and a half ago. And it was really Scott that said, you know what, let's get together, pick a day and just sit out there and just try to focus our energy. And so here we are.
Lake Orion is so strong. I've been here my whole life, 42 years, and you know, it's the reason people stay here is because it is a true community. Even though we're growing so much, and you know there are a ton of people, but it still is a small town, and it still is, you know, you're walking through Kroger and you know 5 people, and you know people truly care.
Now that their goal has been reached, organizers are hoping to break ground this fall with plans to have a grand opening in the spring. As the 2017 car show season begins to wind down, classic car owners came together for one last major car show in Lake Orion. On the morning of Saturday, September 16th, more than 200 classic cars rolled into the parking lot of Golling Buick GMC for the 4th and final car show of the year. Attendees shared the space with vendors and community groups, and as usual, DJ Rock and Ronnie spun the oldies.
It supports the groups that not everybody knows. This is a little organization that uses all of their money through the year, just like what Love Inc. does and what the veterans do. And we think that this brings the community together by the businesses we have here, but we get to showcase Lake Orion with all these classic cars and these people coming in.
Each of the 4 car shows hosted by Golling benefited a different community organization. This time the show helped raise money for Orion Area Youth Assistance, an organization whose goal is to strengthen the family unit.
Well, we feel incredibly honored and blessed to be chosen as the designated charity for this event. Yeah, we do short-term counseling and casework services for students between the ages of 5 and 17 in our community. We provide summer camp scholarships and scholarships for extracurricular activities for students that have financial need. We have mentoring programs and some family education. And we also do family fun nights just to get families disconnected out from behind those screens and just spending some good quality time together.
Youth Assistance was founded in 1953 and is now part of the Oakland County Circuit Court Family Division with 26 offices located throughout the county. For more information, you can visit LakeOrionYouthAssistance.com. They also have a presence on Facebook. Throughout the year, the Orion Area Chamber of Commerce welcomes new businesses with a ribbon-cutting ceremony, even if they've been around a little while. Owners Michael Pollard and Brad Teagan opened their 4th Bad Brads location in May of 2016 right here in Orion Township. Although it's been open for more than a year, the business community finally came together for an official grand opening celebration on Thursday, August 31st.
Ready? Very good. Ready? Yep. Yes!
We have 3 other locations, but the one thing that really stands out in this community is the fact that it's unbelievably tight-knit. And you can just feel that energy, you can feel that connectiveness between all these people. And that really stands out in this community. So excited to be here, excited to be a part of this thing, and we're going to be here for a long time.
Brads BBQ opened its first location in New Baltimore, Michigan in 2009. They've since opened up locations in Shelby Township and Clinton Township. Their Orion Township location is the first in Oakland County.
You know, I designed, built, and helped general contract this building, and we kind of just winged it. You know, I don't really have a design background, but I've pretty much designed and built all of my restaurants. So it's really just a evolution. I always try to challenge myself to do bigger and better things every time. So it's just kind of an evolution of the idea of Bad Brads. If you walk into any Bad Brads, you're gonna feel a very similar feel to them all. But this is definitely the grandiest of them all. The biggest ideas we did here. At the end of the day, it's all about food and service. The fancy building means nothing if you're not delivering on the food and service, so that's always the most important.
For more information or to view the menu, visit badbradsbbq.com or call 248-977-5910. 1 week later, Chamber members gathered once again, this time in downtown Lake Orion for another grand opening. On Thursday, September 7th, representatives of the Chamber, family, and friends gathered at 21 South Broadway Street in the Village for the official grand opening of Chris Lewis Salon, the former location of Avonlea Spa and Salon.
I just feel like for them to come out on a Thursday night, it just shows how big-hearted that they all are and considerate and caring for my husband and I.
The salon, named after owner Chris Zimmel and her husband Louis, opened its doors in June. Former Lake Orion residents, the couple is hoping to move back to the area now that the business is up and going.
I was flipping houses for a while, and I've always wanted to do hair, and then I decided to go behind the chair. And then the thought of opening up a business was exciting to me, and being in the heart of Lake Orion, right across from Sagebrush, we're like center stage, and we really enjoy being here. It feels like home. The staff that was here, they were very welcoming to me, and they're a very talented group of individuals that it truly inspires me to work with them. So.
For more information or to schedule an appointment, call 248-693-5888. Shoppers and diners in downtown Lake Orion may have been a bit startled recently to see The Walking Dead roaming the streets, but don't worry, it was all for a good cause. The Halloween season was officially ushered in on Saturday, September 16th, when approximately 40 zombies descended upon the streets of downtown Lake Orion for the 4th annual Zombie Walk. The event originated as a birthday celebration for Lloyd Coe, owner of Ed's Broadway Gift and Costume, located at the corner of Flint and Broadway.
It's fun, you know, it's just a party. Everybody gets dressed up and looks like a zombie and acts crazy. It started off as a birthday party for me, and then we just developed it into a fundraiser for the Christmas parade group.
Participants assembled at Ed's for the start of their walk, then made their way to CJ's Lakeside Grill, Lockhart's Barbecue, and Valentino's Italian Grill before ending up at the American Legion. The undead received playing cards at each stop. Whoever ended up with the best hand split the pot with the Orion Area Parade Group.
You know, in the first year I didn't really want any gifts or anything for my birthday, so I just told everybody in lieu of giving me a birthday gift to just make a donation to the Christmas parade. So it started, kind of started that way.
Lake Orion's Lighted Christmas Parade is scheduled to take place on Saturday, December 2nd at 6 p.m. For more information, visit orionlightedparade.org. Throughout the year, the Orion Art Center hosts numerous art exhibits featuring the work of talented local artists. Recently, the center kicked off its final show of the year with an opening reception. On the evening of Thursday, September 14th, the Orion Art Center hosted its second annual photography show entitled The Artist's Lens. The show invited photographers aged 50 years and older to submit their work. The show was judged by Jim Newell, a reporter and photographer with the Orion Review.
I thought all of the work was superlative. There were at least 20 of them that were more than qualified to be finalists. The work overall was high quality in composition and color and style. I thought they all had a good eye.
Cash prizes and ribbons were handed out to the top 3 entries and an honorable mention. Receiving first place honors was Cindy Howard for her black and white photo of butterflies called Tag You're It.
All of the entry fees that come in, that money goes right back into the art show. And that's what we really believe, that this is about the artists, and we want the artists to feel welcome and know that their hard work is really appreciated, and we're very honored to have it. We have a lot of talented people in this area, and we get to showcase it.
The photography exhibit will be on display at the Art Center until October 15th. After that, the center gears up for its annual Holiday Mart. Local artists are invited to sell their work with a percentage of the profits benefiting the Art Center. For more information, visit orionartcenter.org. The Lake Orion Lake Association does what it can to improve the experience for those who live and recreate on the lake, and it counts on fundraisers to help them achieve their goal. On Saturday, September 9th, barbecue chefs set up their grills in the parking lot next to Oprah Restaurant for the 3rd annual barbecue competition benefiting the Lake Orion Lake Association. 6 teams competed for cash prizes, hoping to win best ribs, best wings, and best overall.
Well, this is our 3rd annual BBQ Cook Off. We have 6 teams competing today, and the weather's perfect. This is a little unusual for us. Last year it was cold and kind of wet in the morning, but it warmed up in the afternoon. Today it's perfect. Got a lot of people coming in. Of course, it'll get real busy around 4 o'clock after the judging is over, and then when they start allowing people to buy the wares of these 6 competitors. So there's some pretty good competition here today.
A team of judges were faced with the challenge of tasting all the entries and naming the best ribs and wings. The winners were announced at an award ceremony at the end of the day.
Now, what makes good barbecue is the balance of tenderness of the meat. So you can't have it so much so that it just kind of dissolves itself, and it has to have a little bit of texture to it, and then how you season it. And does the seasoning go through the meat, or does the seasoning just sit on top? And if it goes through the meat, you got that whole robust flavor, then it's good barbecue.
For me, I think it's the tenderness of the meat, and like Matt said, with the flavor going through it. I'm a little bit more the one who likes a saucier sauce on it with a little sweet and a little heat, but I did really need a vegetable.
What makes a good barbecue is the people around you while you're cooking and enjoying the barbecue. Yeah, the food's great, and this is an incredible contest, and yeah, tenderness and sauce, whatever, but it's the people. Barbecue should be an event. It should be something that is shared with friends, loved ones, and if you're having a barbecue where you're enjoying yourself, then it's all good.
295 out of a possible 350 points. Team number 2, Backyard Barbecue. Good job. Again, they placed 145, first place in ribs and second place in wings. So you can't. It's hard to compete with a team that placed first and second. So good job.
We're excited.
Unbelievable.
We were shocked.
Have you done well in this competition before?
Last year we took 2nd overall.
2nd overall.
We did.
This is the 2nd time we've ever tried a competition, so this is exciting. So
That's fantastic.
Real happy.
So what's your secret to success?
I don't even know.
Luck.
Just trying to make
luck
good
and
product.
hard work.
Putting out something we like.
The money raised at the event helps with the efforts of the Lake Orion Lake Association. The Lake Orion Nursing Center does what it can to improve the quality of life for its short-term and long-term residents. That includes programs and events that bring in speakers. On Thursday, August 25th, residents of the Lake Orion Nursing Center assembled for a fun program. Dan the Creature Man brought about a dozen exotic creatures ranging from cuddly to creepy, including birds and reptiles.
I guess I've always been concerned about nature and wildlife conservation, so I try to promote that in my program and just get people to appreciate animals and check them out and realize they definitely have a place in our world too.
Guys, I'd like to show you an animal with 8 legs. It's a tarantula. It's in a container and will not come out, but it's very big. This is a female.
Well, we all have phobias and fears and hear myths and stories, and I think, right now we've got a big emphasis on TV and movies which play on our fears and excitement of these animals, so that is always something that I kind of play along with too sometimes.
The Lake Orion Nursing Center has been serving the Orion area since 1989, providing short-term and long-term care to its residents.
Christine, our activities director, does programming every single day of the week. We have all sorts of things to try to appeal to everyone's different likes and their hobbies, that kind of thing.
The Lake Orion Nursing and Rehab Center is located at 585 East Flint Street and is open 24/7. You can visit the reception desk from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. for a packet of information. Each year, the Lake Orion Dragons varsity football team hosts a pink out game to raise money and awareness in the battle against breast cancer. This year, the Dragons hosted Southfield Arts and Tech. ONTV's Joe Johnson has all the highlights.
On the evening of Friday, September 22nd, the Lake Orion Dragons hosted Southfield Arts and Tech for the annual Pink Out game. Fans, cheerleaders, and even the band sported pink to show support for A Mother's Wish, a local charity that helps families struggling with the impact of breast cancer. Members of the varsity football team wore jerseys with the names of loved ones battling the disease or have been lost to cancer. The Dragons headed into the game with a 1-3 record and were hoping to salvage their season with a win against the 2-2 Warriors. With 2 minutes left in the first quarter, the Warriors managed to reach Lake Orion's 1-yard line. Penalties and a stout Dragon defense kept the Warriors out of the end zone, but on 4th and goal, the Warriors go for it, and quarterback John Darby runs right up the middle for the first TD of the game. The 2-point conversion pass was good, and the Warriors were up 8-0. With just over 8 minutes left in the second quarter, after a Lake Orion touchdown was nullified by a penalty, the Dragons are facing a 3rd and 9 on the Warriors' 18-yard line. Quarterback Blaze Lauer takes the snap, feels the pressure, scrambles to his left, and goes 18 yards into the end zone for the score. The 2-point conversion was successful thanks to a Johnny Haggett run, and the score is tied at 8. The Warriors get the ball back and drive to the Dragons' 40. With Darby in shotgun, he takes the snap and goes deep, finding a wide-open Justin Meeks for the touchdown. The 2-point conversion was good, and the Warriors were back on top, 16-8. The Dragons put together a long drive, and with just under a minute left in the first half, with the ball on the Warriors' 8-yard line, Lauer rolls right and hits Tyler Vestran for the touchdown. Drew Van Heck ran in the 2-point conversion, and the game was all tied up at the half. Let's go to the third. A turnover on downs gives Southfield possession of the ball, and on 3rd and 3 at their own 38, Darby once again goes deep and hits Saunders Carter for a 62-yard touchdown to regain the lead. Darby took the ball in himself for the 2-point conversion. Southfield A&T 24, Lake Orion 16. With 5:53 left in the game, the Dragons are hoping to tie things up. Blaze Lauer takes the snap, and then this happens. But hold on, there is a flag on the field. The refs call holding on Lake Orion, and the touchdown is nullified. The ball comes all the way back and is placed on the 30. After a series of penalties called on players and the Dragons coaching staff, the game eventually ended with a score of 24-16. The Dragons fall to 1-4 while the Warriors improved to 3-2. We caught up with Dragons head coach John Blackstock after the game.
I just told the guys that, like the people that donated money to the Mother's Wish and put names on the back of jerseys, they'd say life isn't fair for the things that their families have gone through. And I told them football is the same way. Sometimes it's just not a fair game. This team has put in a lot of work and has come to practice and worked hard and is, I believe, coming together and creating a connection where they're starting to play for each other, and their effort can just never be questioned. And that's the thing that's not fair, is that it's not the outcome that we want, but it's a team that we're proud of, because they come and they battle and they fight, and it's not an outcome that we're real happy with, because we need to work on being a little more disciplined, in assignments and execution, and we need to get better as coaches, as players, and the whole group.
After that tough loss, the Dragons players lined up for a special jersey ceremony. The family of those whose names appeared on the jerseys came out onto the field and was presented the jersey by the player who wore it. It was an emotional moment for players and fans alike, including Coach Blackstock.
The ceremony is, it's tough to do after a loss, but I think it's important, whether it's a win or a loss, because it does put things in perspective. This game is very important to us, but it's not life. It's not life or death, like a lot of the people have gone through that have put names on the back of jerseys. And I did a couple jerseys for family members that have lost their battle with cancer, and I think it's an important event for our kids to be a part of.
The Dragons travel to Bloomfield Hills on September 28th, then go to Oxford on October 6th in the battle for the 00 trophy. From Dragon Stadium, this is Joe Johnson reporting for ONTV Sports.
Thanks, Joe. And with that, we'll wrap up this edition of ONTV News. On behalf of the ONTV News team, I'm Stacy Calloway. Thanks for watching.